Hey, hello. I'm so glad that you're here with me today. Welcome to my channel. My channel is called Oriya, where we get into your words and how they affect your light, which can exude your power. So, your word, your light, your power. This is Oriya. Thank you for joining my channel. My name is Loretta Weaver. So, thank you. So, today we're going to talk about how worry, our chronic worry, fuels depression. And it absolutely does. We worry about a lot of things. We worry about our family. We worry about our health issues. We worry about our our family could be our children, grown adults, children. It could be our aging parents, right? Our disabled children and adults. That's a topic that I don't hear anybody talk about a lot is the disabled adults and the disabled children. We worry about them as well. I know for me, I have a disabled grandson. Well, he wasn't born disabled. He was became disabled through an unfortunate accident at the age of 3, and now he's 15. And my son, my older son, is his dad, so he takes care of him. But that's a worry that we have. We worry about our health, like I said earlier. We worry about our finances, and especially now since our paychecks don't go a long way anymore, right? They only go so far. And that's why a lot of people are making a big exodus too out of the United States, is because of money issues, mainly, especially retirees, because retirement money in the United States don't go a long way anymore like it used to. Remember, well, I don't know if you remember, but way, way, way back in the day when I was a little girl, I used to hear about how people couldn't wait to retire to go on vacation so that they could travel the world. Travel the world is what they used to say a lot. So we're going to get into that, and we're going to get into unfulfilled goals. I have notes here, so if you see me looking up and down, I have to refer to my notes because it's just so much to unpackage. This was is going to be a probably more than a 15-minute video. So, but unfulfilled goals, we worry about that. It's like I want to help my children, I want to help my parents, I want to help, but I don't have the money, and I'm trying to get to this goal so that I can have the money to be able to help my parents, to be able to help my children, to be able to help myself. These are the things that we worry about. And so let me read how chronic worry feeds depression. It exhausts the nervous system. This is chronic worry. This is what chronic worry does. Constant worry keeps the body in a prolonged stress response. Over time, it leads to emotional burnout, low energy, and the numbness often seen in depression. Number two, it trains the brain toward negativity. Mm. Repetitive worry strengthens the neural pathways focused on fear, the what ifs, and the worst case scenarios. This makes hopeless thinking feel automatic. And that, wow, that's really that's really deep because repetitive worry, that is something that we do as humans. We worry repetitively. I mean, people say, "Oh, I pray about it and then I just leave it alone," but then we end up picking it back up. And that's worry. And it can be chronic, especially if you have grown children who are living alone, are living out there in the world. They're trying to forge their path, and they're not asking you for help, or maybe they are asking you for help and you can't help them because your unfulfilled goal didn't happen where you wanted to make all these millions of dollars so that you'll be able to set your family up for life. and it didn't happen, and here your son or your daughter is out in the world trying to make things happen and is struggling financially, and here you are struggling financially as well, and when they call and ask for help, you can sometimes and sometimes you can't, and when you can't, it burns you up. It's like, I can't this time, I can't help you this time. It's not that you don't want to, it's that you can't. And so that's what happens with unfulfilled goals. I know for me, on a personal note, my mom passed away in 2013. My goal was to be able to buy my mom a house and a car. Of course, that's what every child wants, I think, is to be able to help their parents. And so, I did all I could. I'm not going to go into that because that's another video. But time after time after time after time, my goal was not met. My goal was not met. My goal was not met where I was should have been able to purchase my mom a house and purchase her a car, and I wasn't able to do it. And when she passed away, that just, it's like something just inside of me just sunk. It's like, oh, I didn't get a chance to do what I wanted to do for my mom. And we go through those things. And it could be very depressing. It could be very depressing, and like it says, the repetitive worry, and it does strengthens the neural pathways to focus on fear. The fear of, like, what if? Well, what if I do this? Or the worst case scenarios. So mine was like, well, what if? Well, what if I do it this way? Or what if I do it that way? But then when I do, something else happens. It's almost like you don't want to make a decision because you're afraid to make a decision because you think it might be the wrong decision. Well, how will you know it might be the right decision? But then if it is the wrong decision, then what happens is you end up beating up yourself, and it just intensifies even more. That's It's crazy, but it's true. So number 3, depression, chronic worry does fuel depression, and it disrupts sleep and hormones. So chronic worry interferes with your deep sleep, and it increases cortisol. Poor sleep and hormonal imbalance are major contributors to depressive symptoms because we worry all night long. We worry about even food. Food. I mean, we're having like food disparities right now in the United States, like I've never seen ever before. And people are worried about shortages of food. That's why a lot of people are growing their food now, their vegetables at least, and their fruits. And so you may be worried about that. And so it disrupts our sleep. I remember one night I was worried about something. I have a son that's keeps me worried about him. Um, he's been out on the street by choice. And because my boys, I have two, they are so independent. They don't want to live with me. They don't want, I'm like, okay, I can respect that. Young men, you want to forge your way and make your way. But this one here, man, one night it was cold. It was, I don't know, it was just really cold. I think it might have been raining or something. And he always keeps a job now. He always keeps a job. He can always work. And every time I see him when he visits, he looks very nice, neat, and clean. And he always has a vehicle. So he's doing good in that aspect. But it gets cold in a car. Okay, when you're sleeping in a car, it gets very, very cold. So I'm worried about, does he have a blanket? Um, does he have food to eat? Is his head covered? Does he have vitamin C to fight against colds? Does he have NyQuil? Does he have, all these things I'm worried about all through the night? Is somebody gonna knock on his window and try to take his stuff? Is somebody, oh, I was up all night that night, I remember. And it was so, like, on my head that I got a headache. I ended up getting a headache. I couldn't sleep. The next day, my eyes were, you could see the bags under my eyes, and it was awful. It was awful. But it really deprived me of my sleep that night, and yeah, I'm pretty sure I experienced some hormonal balance. Number four, worry increases when worry goes unresolved. The mind begins to believe nothing can be controlled or improved, a core feature of depression. Now, that's when you go into a deep depression where you feel like nothing could be resolved, nothing can be improved. This is just my state of life. And this is how it's going to be for me. And you're thinking these negative thoughts, which, that's what happens when you worry a lot and you go and you're slowly going into a depressive state. And this is today we're going to learn how we can get out of that because we don't want to get into that state. When I find myself even going, trying to even go that way again, I switch my mind differently, and we're going to talk about some of those ways. It leads to depression, worry can lead to an emotional shutdown. Many people cope with relentless worry by emotionally numbing themselves. Okay, what starts as protection can become depression. So you shut down emotionally, and you almost say, "Well, whatever, whatever. I don't even care anymore. Whatever, whatever." And worry can do that to you. The worry depression loop is this: worry, mental fatigue, loss of motivation, isolation, more worry, deeper depression. Breaking the loop doesn't start with stop worrying, but with calming the body and softening the mind. Okay? So people can say, oh, stop worrying. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. They'll be okay. Don't worry about it. God's taking care of your finances. Don't worry about it. You know, um, you didn't meet your goal. You're in your old age now and you have unfulfilled goals. Don't worry about it. Just, thank goodness that you're still living and so these are some of the things well-meaningful family members and friends will say. But the calming of the body and the softening of the mind is something that can help you to stop worrying. So, breath work. I don't know if you know of breath work, but let me do one example of breath work that I learned and that I use. And it is you breathe in through your nose 5 times, you hold it for 4, and then you breathe out 6. Okay, so let's do that right now. If you might be worried about something, just do it with me right now. It's only going to take a minute, maybe less than that. So here we go. We're going to go in for 5, hold for 4, and then and breathe out of your mouth for 6 when you exhale. So you're going to inhale for 5, hold for 4, and then exhale for 5. That's called box breathing. Okay, here we go. In for 5 through the nose. You see how you feel? You feel calm already, right? That's a practice that you can do whenever you feel like you're going to worry or you're going into a deep depression. And then it helps you to calm the body down, right? And it softens your mind. So, it helps you not to worry so much and do it. Even if you have to do it back to back to back to back, do that. Okay. Um, Also, another gentle way that you can interrupt your cycle is schedule worry time. I haven't done that yet, but I've heard of people who have done that. Contain worry instead of letting it run all day. So it's like, well, between 9 and 10, I'm going to worry. I don't know. That may work for you. I don't think that worked for me. Anyway, grounding practices like we just did, like breathing, breath work, walking. Um, Also, externalize worrying by writing it out instead of holding it inside. Now, that helps me because I'm a writer, I'm a screenwriter, and I do like writing things down. I journal a lot, and that helps me to get it out of my head and get it onto to paper. Um, let's see, supportive conversation or therapy to process fear safely. There's nothing wrong with therapy. There is nothing wrong with therapy. I've done it over the years, and it helps to speak to someone who's objective that don't know anything about you. Okay, um, but it's important to note that chronic worry often masks as anxiety, and when anxiety goes untreated, it frequently evolves into depression. Um, so it says here. So if you have like health issues and you have worrying about your health, you're worrying about your finances, you're worrying about your children, you're worrying about your parents and other family members. Um, your emotional wellness is important for you, okay? So this connection matters. So long-term worry doesn't just affect your mood, okay? It places real strain on your heart and your nervous system. And as you know, I'm a heart patient. And so worrying can add to the pressure of your heart. And I will add also, worry can add to you having a stroke. Okay. So we want to, once again, I always talk about loving ourselves, right? We want to love on ourselves, and it's not selfish to love yourself. Okay. Be good to yourself. Set your boundaries with your family members. You can't help everybody. But you can help yourself to deal with these things so that you can, if you are unable to help financially, at least you can give somebody an encouraging word. At least you can give some experience, right? With your calm voice and just helping family members, which is, what we all do a lot of times. Because just think, if we help them financially all the time, excuse me, they'll always come to us, right? So fortunately for me, my boys, they are on their own, and so they want to work things out themselves. But I do ask them. I say, "Well, do you need this? Do you need that? I could, send you 20, or I can send you 40. I can help you on your PG&E bill, or I can help you on your water bill. That's when I can, right? Because I have my own worries as well. But at any rate, let's see. So if you are dealing with depression, or if you know anyone that's dealing with chronic worry and depression, then here are ways that you can support someone who is healing from depression or worry. Presence over advice. Okay, that's another one. It says listening without trying to fix it. Sometimes people just need a sounding board, and let them sound the way they want to. If they want to yell and scream, let them do it. If they want to cuss and box the wall or hit a pillow, let them do it. And you sit there and calmly be supportive. Okay. Sitting with discomfort instead of minimizing pain. Presence over advice, sitting with discomfort instead of minimizing their pain. Don't minimize what they're going through, basically. Practical help, you can help with meals, childcare if they need to go out and try to look for work, with rides, um, helping with everyday tasks that feel overwhelming for some who are worried. And then if this is something that you need, don't be, so prideful that you can't ask for some help. You know, if you have children and you need to go grocery shopping and you don't want to take your children with you, then ask someone, can you watch my kids for me while I go to the grocery store? Because this is going to be so overwhelming for me that I'm not going to be able to shop. with them. Either they're going to say yay or they're going to say nay. And you just keep on going. But now we have alternatives too, because there's Instacart and there's a lot of grocery stores where are bringing groceries to the house. You can pick your groceries. I think there's a website for several stores. You go on there and you pick your items. I know it's, if you're like me, you like to pick your fruits and vegetables because you know how you want them to look, and you know what sound makes them fresh. It's picky. Me, that's just me too. And so, but I had said, you know what, there might come a day where I need to utilize that service, and it's there for you. So you can do that too. So constantly checking in, even when the person doesn't respond, because basically, if you keep calling somebody, you keep getting their voicemail, leave a message saying, hey, I'm just checking on you, just seeing how you're doing. And if they never call you back, trust me, they're listening to that message and it's making them feel good, whether you know it or not. And then when you get those messages too, doesn't it make you feel good? I love when my boys call and check in on me. I love when my nieces call and check in on me. I love it when my cousins call me and check in on me. And my dad, I love when my dad calls and checks on me. My uncles, I love when they call and check on me. My aunties, I love when they call and check on me, because we all need to know that somebody's thinking about us, right? So healing doesn't mean who you were before. It often means becoming more honest, softer, and more aligned than before. So, like I always say, love yourself. You want to love yourself. I know worry is an issue, especially in light of the world that we're living in right now. A lot of people are making a mass exodus to other countries out of the United States because their money just will go further there. But please make sure you have a plan. You don't want to get over there somewhere and then it's worse and it's not what you thought it was. Just really give yourself a year or two to plan it. You know, um, I don't know what the real estate market is going to look like in the next year. I don't know what rents are going to be like in the next year. I don't know if the homeless population is going to increase more and more over the next year. My guess is it's going to get worse. So you got to have a plan. You can't worry. It if you do, just do the breath work. Heal yourself. Do the breath work. Get plenty of sleep. Eat right. Definitely eat right. It has a lot to do with your mood when you eat right. Fruits, vegetables, oats, beans, things that'll flush out your system. You don't want to eat foods that will inflame your body because then you begin to feel tired and restless and dragging, and you don't want to feel that way. You want to feel alive, right? So, anyway, that's a little bit about how chronic worry can fuel depression. I know you're going to worry a little bit. We all do. But you can turn it on. You can have a set time when you worry, like I said earlier. Or when you feel like you're worrying, just take a deep breath, do the breath work, go for a walk. Sometimes exercise will help too. So there are things that you can do to alleviate and make sure you get plenty of rest. If you can't get a lot of rest, Serenity tablets, Serenity pills by doTERRA. And what I'm going to do, I have a link to that site. I'll put it down in the description. It's an essential oil. It's 100% and it's no additives, nothing added into it. It's just all pure. And Serenity, it just mellows you out. It mellows you out and you go right on to sleep and you get a whole 5 to 8 hours of sleep and you wake up energetic. I don't know how they do it, but I love it. I keep me a bottle of Serenity tablets from doTERRA on my nightstand by my bed just in case because, I go through my bouts of worry too. But I am determined not to stay there. That's what I don't want you to do. I don't want you to stay there. Get up. You're living. Get up out of that bed. Clean your house. Your house is an indication of what's going on in your mind. If you got a messy house, then you are confused in your mind. So you have to, what will help you to not be so confused is you start one room at a time. I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to pick that up. I'm going to sweep and then I'm going to mop. I'm going to open all the doors and windows and let the fresh air come in and dry my floors. I'm going to hang up all my clothes and put them in order. All my pants here, all my shirts here. I'll put all my sweaters in the drawer. I'm going to put all my coats to one side. I'm going to hang all my sweaters, my coat sweaters, in the closet. I'm going to line up my shoes so that when I open up my closet and I see my shoes, I know, oh, let me wear these. This will begin to put order to your life and then it'll begin to clear out your mind. It's a mental thing. It really is a mental thing. So that's just something else I thought about. Don't mind me. Anyway, you guys, I'm so glad you're able to join me today. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to like this video and please share it with as many people as you like. And please comment. Let's get this conversation going about depression and worry and solutions that we can share. If you have a solution, something that you do that you would like to share with the community, please go ahead and put it in the comments. We'd love to hear what your solutions are. Okay? All right. Thank you all for joining me. I will talk to you soon. In the next video, we're going to be talking about clothes and how that makes a difference on a person. Okay? All righty. Talk to you soon.